Howdy, Possum Patty here, and yepers, I am outside to do my intro. I came out quick after dinner. Yeah, it's getting a little late right now, and I think the skeeters are going to come out real quick, so we'll make this fast. I want to tell you about my freesia that I'm planting. Yeah, I was busy earlier today, but this afternoon I got to my table and I sat down. I did a little bit of watercolors for Watercolor Wednesday. Yes, I did. I want to show you that. And I think I'm going to do a page about my freesia. Yeah, so I want to show you the pots where I put them and maybe a couple, of other little things around the yard. So we better get to it. Come on along. We usually put 3 pots here at the end of the turnaround in the driveway. And this is so funny. These pots we usually leave out sitting on that wall back there behind the shed. And they just sit there all winter. And in the spring, I dump them out, put some fresh soil and some new plants. And I went to do that because I bought some Miracle-Gro potting soil, and surprise, surprise, the chrysanthemum in this pot and one of the other pots is growing back. So I just left it. I didn't plant anything in there. And in this pink pot, I did put some of the freesia bulbs. And then the pot on the end is the other chrysanthemum that is coming back. Sorry about all the noise in the background. My neighbor is mowing, but I wanted to come out anyway. Do this before it got dark, and his dog is barking at him. Mr. Possum said there's a whole bunch more pansies growing here by the driveway, and I came out to check, and I can see them everywhere. So I will have to come out tomorrow and move those. I planted these here last year, and they came back in the pot and reseeded all over the gravel. These are my new pansies here, but these aren't the kind that really go crazy and reproduce like the Johnny Jump Up ones. And this is where I'm working by the stone wall, and you can see I put a bunch of those little pansies in this section. And some of the black-eyed Susans, let's keep our fingers crossed, are coming back after taking a year off. And there's a lot of wild violets here. And then back there, I planted some more of those pansies. And I still have to do that section and that section and that section, and up there's a lot of violets. And in between are the black-eyed Susans. And the other 2 pots that I planted with the freesia, one there and one sitting over there, they've been planted and they're going to get hung up on the hooks, so they'll be hanging baskets. There's 2 hooks right there. And I'll show you some more flowers tomorrow. Back inside. Okay, I'm going to take you on a little time adventure. Yes, we're going to go back in time to this afternoon because I did record how I painted my little floral tag over here. So I'm going to show you that. And then we'll pop back to the present and we'll do a journal page in Emma, my spring journal. Now, I haven't done this in quite a while, and sometimes it feels a little intimidating, but you've just got to gather up your supplies and have a play. So, number 1, I have these little watercolor scrapbook papers from Temu, and my idea is to use these as inspiration, not necessarily to try to copy exactly what's on here, but to try a few different elements. I like the little bit of white space up there. I like the bright colors. I like these little shapes down here. I like these little swirly ones. I like how the colors all kind of flow like a rainbow across the bottom. I like this little bit up here too. And the black outlines. So we have no idea the procedure and how these were made, but I'm wondering if they use some resist to get these white stems here. I did find my masking fluid marker, which basically you put it on the paper and then you paint and then you rub it off with an eraser and it leaves it white. We could try that in one of them, if not today, one of the days. All right, so I've got my inspiration right here. I got my big palette of watercolors. I've got a few cheap watercolor pads just for practicing. I got some smaller pieces of the watercolor. I took out some book pages. Now these were in my bin for gel plate printing. I thought it would be interesting to paint over the words. And this is flowers for every garden. Paint on here. Oh, and I've got this ledger that's sitting right in front of me here. I just wiped it off. I found this at the flea market. Now it's not antique. And somebody's keeping track of their bill paying here. Or their business. Mommy lawnmower, $300.99. SNET. Well, that's Southern New England telephone, so that would be a bill. Visa charge card, so I know it's not antique. But in the back, there's a lot of these blank pages, and they're nice and smooth. I was actually looking for something that was smooth to paint on. So let's try these address pages. Okay, we're just gonna go slowly and have a play and see where it gets us. I think I'm going to start at the bottom because that seems to be where there's the highest concentration of colors. And I was trying to figure out if they did the flowers first or if they did the background first or they did a little bit of both. So I want this to be at the top, but that doesn't mean I can't paint upside down. Oh, let me check first with my journal. See, it's a little tall for the journal. I was thinking about doing a background. Oh, I could fold it up, make a pocket like that, right? Put that in here. Maybe I'll just take this off for now. Okay. As we go along, I'll be working on this. I have no idea. All right, so I sprayed all the watercolors with some water to get them juicy. And I'm going to pick a very light color to start with. And this is a bright yellow. Now remember, this is the top. So I want most of the color at the bottom. And so I'm just going to kind of do a nice bright yellow. I want it very bright and colorful. And next to that, maybe put in a little yellow. Okay, what would go good with this gold? Maybe some blue. It's kind of a dark blue. Don't want it too dark. So I want it to run together though. How about a lighter blue? I don't know if that would go next to that. Why not, right? I want the yellow and blue to mix together to look a little bit like some green there. And maybe I'll put some pink next to the blue, see if we can get some purples in there. This is like a bright opera pink. I don't like that blue as much. Kind of cover that one up a little bit. A little too dark. And a paper towel. Now I might leave that puddle there. I was just going to sop it up, but that might be interesting. Yeah, that might turn out to be interesting. Now, I'm not sure about this spot here. I like all of it except for that. I could touch it. I could touch it like that if I thought it was too dark. Put some more bright color in there. I'm trying to get the yellow and the blue to go together there. Alright, so I dried it just a little bit. And you can always put another layer on if you don't think it's dark enough. But you have to remember when you go wet into wet on watercolor, you can disturb what's already there. But I'm looking at this orange. I know I'm doing everything upside down. And I think I want to add some of that in there. And a lot of the pink went into the blue and it went purplish. So we can... which I wanted it to. I wanted to show some purple there. But it took like all the pink away. Now, now what? I don't know. Now what? Let's see. Oh, I wonder how they did that. Okay, let's try something simple. We will work our way up to some more complicated things. See, I like all these little splotches like this. And they're just shapes. Maybe I should try this again. Now, it's great to get all these happy little dark lines when you dry the little puddles of paint. And look at this little dendrite in there. I love that. It's a little granulated right in here, but we can make something out of that. Here's where the yellow goes into the blue. So remember, we're going up this way. Flowers are growing this way. I'm just painting upside down. Okay, so I have my base on there. And now I'm going to try and put in some of these little shapes, or bigger shapes. I sort of want to have like the color puddling in different places. I don't want it perfect, like a solid, perfectly painted color. So if I can get like more paint on one side, you can also bring it up and like have a little open space. Put some purple in there. Especially down here. You can kind of make it open on the top. Like that's the top of the flower. Remember, I'm doing upside down here. And there's little shapes. Well, this is kind of like doodling with the paintbrush. How about larger flowers and larger shapes? I want some more orange on here. I want some orange by the pink. Okay, I'm going to try and make a larger flower. I'm going to drop in a little pink at the top. I'm not sure what looks like a flower. Does this look like a flower? Yeah, sure. And I'm just making a shape and leaving a couple of the spaces without paint so that the color that's behind it shows through. And then drop in a little bit of pink over here. And then pretend that that's a flower. What else? Oh, we can do some yellow. Let's do some yellow. Put a little yellow on that flower right there. What does yellow look like inside of pink? Add some orange ones down here. I'm adding a little more background color. It looks like some of the color was put down first and then some of the flowers and then maybe some more of the color and then maybe some more of the flowers. It looks like they kind of layered it and built up the layers. But you have to be careful with watercolors about hitting spots you've already painted. What do you think about this area here? Should we make it more purpler? Should we make it more purpler? I'm brighten up this corner a little bit. I wonder if I can put some green in there. Kind of green do I have? I wonder. I'll put a little bit and see how it looks. This is a phthalo green. All right, I'm going to dry this a little bit and we'll see where we go from here. Well, I believe this is a good start for a first try. Now, do I want to doodle with a pen or just the watercolor brush and put in some leaves and some stems? Again with the upside down. And I like this dark green. I think it goes well with these colors. And I don't know what to put in here. I'm just going to put some lines like this. And maybe I'll add some leaves. Now the leaves I'm going to use the same color but make it a lot wetter. Like that. I'm just sort of laying the brush down and letting the water do its thing. I might add some of this lighter color here. Okay, let's see. Let's see, what should we do? I'm used to like looking at a flower and drawing that flower and to like totally make up a whole scene. This is not what I usually do, but that's okay. It's more like a doodle. And we're just going to doodle some fun things here. Now I'm wondering, I made this all that phthalo green. I might do this side purple, change it up. I don't like this long stretch of a straight line here. I'm going to mess it up a little bit just by putting some water and letting it run. I know I made a perfect dark line and I'm like, too perfect, too dark. Let's mess it up. Okay, much better. Trying to make those look like flowers. And I'm doing that by just put a little bit of a darker orange on the brush, and I'm trying to start with the middle and then go around the edge. How about with the pink? Do I have crimson on here? What's this? Okay, I like this side. It's not good just to work on one side. You should sort of be working on it as a whole piece. Okay, what should I do in here? It kind of looks like a tall purple flower. I'm taking a dark blue, ultramarine blue, and adding it to the purple. See if I can get this to stand out. I like to take a little bit of a white pen later and put some white in there. If you want, you can kind of follow the lines of the color as it goes up. I feel like this area needs a lot of work. A lot of flowers on that side. Oh, let's try that dark blue purple. Maybe a bigger flower here. Adding a little green, phthalo green. Don't want to go too much in the pink with the green. Well, I probably added a little more than I planned, but I plan on letting this dry and then coming back and maybe putting a little white in there in some places. But other than that, I don't know. I think it's almost done. Yes, I think for my first try that this is almost done. I'm loving how it's a pop of yellow and blue and pink, and then I have a little bit of green and purple in there. And I'm going to come back and do just a little bit more of a play. But as you can see, I kind of used these as inspiration, but didn't really copy any of them. I copied all of them in a way. But I would love to learn to make some more of these. All right, this is only the first one. Back to the present. And yeah, this is where I left off. It's nice and dry now. And I was thinking of adding some black or white to the page. And I have my white Signo Uniball pen. And I have my black Sakura Glaze pen. But then I'm thinking, I don't want to add too much to this. So maybe I won't add the black because I did add these darker lines here. But I still want to put some white. And let's see how this will write on the watercolor. If you don't press down too hard. I just thought this purple flower, I love it, but it's kind of dark. Not a lot of contrast in it. So I thought if I added some white, that would make it pop out more. I don't want to add too much. Just a little touch here and there. Like that. Okay, well, for my first try, this is it. Yes. Stop playing. Stop playing. And just go with it. All right, let's grab the journal. Well, I had cut this down to fit on the page. But I didn't realize that this was so big. Now I'm thinking I can make the pocket out of this and make the journaling card out of this, right? Because this is much bigger. It'd be funny if I make this the pocket and try to stick that in there, right? So we're going to reverse. And of course, this is much heavier. So I'm going to cut this down. Oh, yeah, so we stopped at the Walmart. I wanted to get a large bag of Miracle Grow potting soil. And I went in to pay for it. And I saw these bulbs by the register. You get 20 freesia for $5.42. I thought that was a good deal. Like I said, I haven't grown these in quite a while. So I hope they're okay. They are very tender, but I'm going to try and save the bulbs. I know I haven't found my dahlias. Oh, but I have a dahlia surprise for you tomorrow. Okay, so back on task. I'm going to cut this and glue it down with some, I think I'll use my Fabri-Tac. It's a little bit stronger. And that'll be the pocket. And this is almost dry. We'll come back and we'll make a journaling card out of this. I decided to, oh, it's the morning double clock. I decided to back the tag with some cardstock, make it a little sturdier to pull it in and out of the pocket. And I repunched the holes and added some really fun thin ribbons in different colors here. And I just knotted the ribbon on there, didn't make any bows or anything, and they'll just hang out like that. And I feel like this is still a little wet, but I'm going to work on the back. And I'm going to put that on the back and do a little journaling somehow on here. And then if you remember, I had that Birds and Blooms magazine out when I was working on the other page. And I love that little butterfly border. Oh, it's on both sides. And I thought I would add that to the page. I don't want it to go to waste. So let me see if I can slice and dice this. and make a little trim out of it. Oh, perfect. Perfect. It's possum perfect. I think there was more on another page, but this will be enough. I'll put that right across the bottom. And I will glue this down because I put it on a little blue frame. And then I'll have, I could do it this way, couldn't I? I can journal any way I want. All right. Always something to think about, right? Should I do it differently and put it this way? I don't have to go the other way. I think I'm going to do it this way. May 7th, 2024. I planted freesia bulbs in 3 hanging pots. It's probably been 20 years since I've grown some of these. Will I be able to save the bulbs for next year? Question mark. We shall see. There's my butterfly border there. And I was just about to slip this garden tag into the freesia pocket like so. And these fun ribbons floating out the side there. When I was like, look at that space right there. So I ran over to the corner. No, I didn't. I walked to the corner of the room and I got out the magazine, and there's just enough butterflies to add to the page. So what do you think? Yes, let's not let these little butterflies go to waste. And you know me, one more thing. Yes, one more thing. And then my journaling for today is done. Yes, this is a lot of flower pages in a row, but I like flowers. I like wildflowers. I like garden flowers. I like teeny tiny flowers and great big flowers. I had a lot of fun painting this card. I think I need some practice, but that's okay. I'll do some more another day. This might be a nice project to do out on the picnic table, yes. Well, I'm going to slip my little garden tag into my freesia packaging pocket here and call this session done for today. But I want to thank you for coming along and wish you a happy gardening and happy junk journaling. Bye-bye.